What is up guys, Ram101 here and welcome to Dueling Network number 38. Now in this episode I have something very special for you guys. I've taken the Harpie Lady archetype and I've combined it with one of the suppressor dragons, which are now called the Incarnate dragons by the way, and I have created a very different and a very good deck. Before, the Harpie Lady deck with the new cards that it had, the Channeler and things like that, would easily create level 4 XYZ monsters such as Plover and Harpie's Mirage Dragon. But when you take Tempest, the Storm-Incarnate Dragon, and combine it with this deck, you still keep the level 4 XYZ summoning Swarm aspect, but you also add a greater way to swarm level 7s, and more importantly, rank 7 XYZ monsters. So as usual, I'll quickly go over the deck recipe and then I'll cover all the strategies and tactics for this deck at the end. So for the main deck we have 3 Tempest the Storm-Incarnate Dragon, 3 Harpie's Pet Dragon, 3 Harpie Queen, 3 Harpie Channeler, 3 Harpie Lady 1 Harpie Dancer, and 3 Harpie's Pet Baby Dragon. We don't use any Harpie Lady Sisters in this deck as it does slow it down a little bit, as if we were to draw into one instead of something else, it can become quite useless. As for the spell staples, we have 1 Heavy Storm, 1 Dark Hole, 1 MST and 1 Pot of Avarice. Then for the Harpie spells, we have 2 Eloquent Egotist, 3 Hysteric Sign, and 2 Harpie's Hunting Ground. And then to top those off we have 2 Treasure Sword of the 7 Stars, just a very good card for this deck. And as far as trap goes, we have 2 Bottomless, 2 Dimensional Prison, 2 Hysteric Party, 1 Solemn Judgment and 1 Solemn Warning. As for the extra deck we have 2 Mecha Phantom Beast Drago-Sack, 2 number 11 Big Eye, 1 number 42 Starship Galaxy Tomahawk, 2 Harpie's Pet Mirage Dragon, 3 Lightning Plover, 1 Gemnite Pearl, 1 Utopia, 1 Shotmaster, 1 Blackship of Corn, and 1 Papilloperative. So now that we have our recipe out of the way, which is also in the description of the video if you want to go get it there, let's get into some of the tactics. So of course, one of the main parts of this deck is XYZing into some rank 7s. The easiest way to do this is by using Channeler to summon a Harpie Dragon and then go into a rank 7 from there. Another way to do this is summoning your Tempest and then XYZ summoning it with Harpie Dragon, keeping the Channeler on the field to use her effect at a later date, so then you can summon more rank 7s. So whatever combination of level 7s you use, it will be very easy to get rank 7 out on one of your first turns. Depending on what turn you are at in the duel, depends on what rank 7 you want to go into. If it's turn 1, I suggest going into Drago-Sack, as you can put some tokens down and protect him during your opponent's turn and then use his destruction effect on the next turn. And then if it's later on from that and your opponent doesn't have a heavy back row, it's worth going into a Big Eye, as he can take your opponent's monsters, and even if you're only taking something like a very basic level 4, you can still take advantage of their open field now, and on top of that you've taken their monster, which could have been used for one of their plays later on down the line. So it's a win-win on your half. Galaxy Tomahawk is there as mainly a backup. If your opponent happens to have a weaker swarm field, I can't think of a weaker swarm deck off the top of my head, but going into Tomahawk to clear up that field isn't a bad idea. Plus, if you need him to be, he can be a very beefy wall, so as long as you're not up against things like BLS, he should be good to hang around for a few turns while you get your cards together and summon something else. With this deck, the main card I will always tell you go into if possible is Mirage Dragon, as it can protect as well as serve a lot of damage under the right circumstances. Lightning Plover, amazing card for clearing out the field, so 3 is definitely worth running. Then a lot of other rank 4s are there for backup. As for some of the spells in this deck, Treasure Sword is there for draw power. I recommend using it mainly on Tempest, as his second effect kicks in, so you can add things like Harpie's Dragon to your hand, but you can use the spell on Harpie's Dragon itself if you still have some Harpie's Dragons in your deck for Channeler's effect. this spell does work very well with this deck. Pot of Average is there because you do sometimes end up dumping a lot of monsters into the graveyard, so it's a good card to keep your deck topped up. And that pretty much sums up our recipe. There are so many different ways you can go about playing this deck, whether you're using the rank 7s or 4s, or simply swarming, taking advantage of attack boosters like Harpie's Dragons and Harpie Lady 1. Very fun deck, and when things go your way, a very devastating deck. I do very much enjoy this deck, and I also do enjoy the pure Harpie Lady build. What do I think is better? Do I think the Incarnate Dragon version or the pure version is better? I would say the pure version, but this version with the Incarnate Dragon is definitely something different, and is definitely something fun, and is definitely something interesting. That is why I put it together, and that is why I decided to share it with you guys. So I definitely suggest building it on DevPRO or Dueling Network, whatever you're using, and give it a go. It is very fun to use. Also, I am now using the March 1st 2013 ban list in my videos, so that is why you see things like only one Solemn Warning, and I will also be covering my thoughts on the list very soon. But anyway guys, the video is coming to an end here. Leave in the comment section down below, what are your thoughts on this deck and what would you do to improve it? Also, if you could, remember to like, rating and subscribe for more videos. Again guys, this is Harpie One, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.